Thank you. Good morning and welcome. Welcome to the Scenic Rim Regional Council special meeting for Friday the 28th of June 2024. I declare the meeting open and welcome all in attendance and in the gallery. I acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands of the Scenic Rim Regional Council area. We pay respect to their elders past, present and future and extend congratulations to them on their continued nurturing of their culture. Thank you. I believe we have a full attendance today and there are no apologies and there are no declarations of interest by the members. So we'll now move to item 5.1 and I call upon Councillor for Division 1, Amanda Hay, to introduce that item. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to introduce item 5.1, consideration of received public comments and submissions regarding the 2024-2025 draft budget. Community consultation responses to the submissions are attached to the agenda for those who wish to read those. The Scenic Rim Regional Council undertook the consultation for the 2024-2025 draft budget. Face-to-face community consultation sessions were held in 3 locations across the region during May 2024. Beaudesert's meeting was live streamed and the Burner and Tamborine Mountain were audio recorded. These sessions enabled community members to ask questions about council services, the budget and provide ideas and/or projects for council consideration. Residents were invited to provide comments and submissions via Council's Let's Talk Scenic Rim budget consultation platform by the 17th of May 2024. The purpose of this report is to close out the engagement process and provide an indication as to how the feedback was considered by Council in its planning for the draft 2024 to 2025 budget and applicable future budget considerations through the responses received. I move that Council note and acknowledge the consideration of the community consultation feedback and relevant Council responses. I'd also like to thank the individuals and groups who submitted during the process and acknowledge that Council will provide an individual response to each submitter. These submissions will inform not only the current budget but budgets going into the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor, call upon a seconder.
Happy to second. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Sanders. Councillor Hay, do you wish to talk to your motion?
No, thank you, Mayor. I think the community has been appreciative of the opportunity to have feedback and make submissions to the budget, and I think largely they'll be happy with the responses that have resulted. Thank you.
Anyone wish to talk against the motion? If I could just make one very quick comment on the consultation process and adding this to our budget process, I'd just like to commend Council for that initiative being brought forward and its ongoing advancement into a key principle for local government, which is genuine community consultation, transparency in that process, and now it's very much up to the members in terms of accountability for deliberation of that consultation and how that is then worked into and prioritised within the budget. So thank you very much. I now put the motion to the floor. Those in favour? Motion carried unanimously. I'd like to, moving to item 5.2, call upon Councillor Chalk to introduce the item. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Yes, I'll pleased to present the report 5.2, the Operational Plan 2024-2025. I'll move straight to a motion. The motion is one, that pursuant to Section 104 of the Local Government Act 2009 and Section 174 of the Local Government Regulations 2012, Council adopt the Operational Plan 2024-2025 as tabled and included as Attachment 1. 2, council require quarterly updates from the Chief Executive Officer regarding the implementation of the operational plan for the 2024-2025 financial year and at regular intervals of not more than 3 months after the end of each quarter in the financial year. 3, council agreed to the publication of the operational plan 2024-2025 on council's website. And 4, council delegate to the Chief Executive Officer the power to make minor grammatical and formatting changes to the operational plan 2024-2025 that may be required after its adoption by council and prior to publishing the document for public access.
Thank you. Call upon a seconder. Councillor Hay. Thank you. Councillor Chalk, would you like to talk to your motion?
Yes, I will, Mr. Mayor. This process is one that we undertake at council. We have a corporate plan, which we have a community plan and a corporate plan and an operational plan. The operational plan sets out by the council organisation all the functions that they will undertake in a year, and us councillors regularly, as it states in the motion, looks over this process to make sure that we're on track. So it's a good strategic way to keep track of all the functions we do at council, and it's something that councillors should really keep a close eye on to make sure the organisation is sort of beholden to that. So move, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor. Anyone wishing to talk against the motion? Just very quickly, I just want to echo the points that Councillor Chalk makes. It's vital in terms of going forward that there is a robust scrutinisation of the plan by councillors in terms of reviewing and ensuring and improving once again. So thank you, Councillor. I now put it to the floor. Those in favour? Those against? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you. Now move to item 5.3 and call upon a member to introduce that item, please. Call upon. Thank you, Councillor Sanders.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Okay, item 5.3, differential rating categories 2024 to 2025. I'll move straight to the motion. The recommendation is that pursuant to Section 81 of the Local Government Regulation 2012 for making and levying differential general rates for the year ending 30th of June 2025, Council resolve the rating categories of rateable land in its local government area and a description of each of the rating categories be as follows, as per the included table.
Thank you. And call for a seconder. Councillor Chalk. Councillor Sanders, would you like to talk to your motion?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, I think it's always difficult at rate time. We're trying very hard to make sure that we're as fair as possible. I know that there are many categories, not quite as many as there are at some other councils, and we've tried to be as fair and to make sure that our rates categories fit the uses of the land.
Anyone wish to talk against the motion? I put it to the floor. Those in favour? Motion carried unanimously. Call upon a member to introduce item 5.4.
I'm happy to, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor.
I'll take the report as being read. So it's report 5.4, delegations of power to apply rating categories. I'll move straight to the and move a motion that 1, pursuant to Section 257 of the Local Government Act 2009, Council delegate to the Chief Executive Officer its power under Section 81 of the Local Government Regulations 2012 to identify the differential rating categories into which each parcel of rateable land in the Council's local government area is included by using relevant information from the Council's land records and any other information which identifies the use of that rateable land. And 2, in accordance with Section 257(1)(b) of the Local Government Act 2009, Council delegate to the Chief Executive Officer the power under Section 81(4) of the Local Government Regulations 2012 to undertake an inspection and determination of primary use subsequent to an inspection should there be some doubt about the primary use of the property.
Thank you, councillor. Seconder for the motion, councillor Moriarty. Councillor Chalk, do you wish to talk to the motion?
No, Mr Mayor, I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Thank you. Anyone wish to talk against the motion? I put the motion to the floor. Those in favour? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you. Call upon a member to introduce item 5.5. Councillor Moriarty.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to introduce item 5.5, differential general rates 2024 to 2025. And I'd like to move that the recommendation is point 1, pursuant to the section 94(2) of the Local Government Act 2009 and section 77 and 116 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, and having resolved to decide different rating categories, each a rating category for rateable land in Council's local government area under section 81 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, Council resolved that general rates as differential general rates as a rate in the dollar for each rating category and to set minimum rates and limitations on increases of rates from that levied in the previous financial year. Cap on increase are as follows.
Now,
In the table that follows, sorry. And point 2, Council resolved to levy rates by a single rate in the dollar for each category with a set minimum for each such rating category.
thank you. Yeah, thank you. Could I have a seconder to the motion? Councillor Sanders. Councillor, you wish to talk to the motion?
No, thank you, Mayor.
Anyone talking against the motion?
No comment, Mayor. I think it's good to highlight that the 15% capping there, it historically has been 9% until 2 years ago. I can be corrected on that, but of recent years. But with the, it is quite an impost on people when we have wild variations in valuations and that, if you go back a number of years ago, there wasn't any capping whatsoever, and it had a big impact on people. And we believe that 15% is, while it's an impost, it's a reasonable standard to live by, and I think it's the right figure for us moving forward.
I'll talk against that very quickly, Councillor, on the basis that, well, I think that's something that sorry, anyone wishing to talk for the motion? All right, I'll now put it to the floor. Those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you. I move to item 5.6 and call on a member from the floor to introduce that item.
I'm happy to introduce that one,
Thank
Mr
you,
Mayor.
Councillor.
So item 5.6 is separate rates and charges. I'll move straight to the motion that pursuant to section 94 of the Local Government Act 2009 and section 103 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, Council resolved to levy a separate charge, community infrastructure charge, for the 2024-2025 financial year as set out in Council's revenue statement and as contained in the annual budget 2024 to 2025 document.
Thank you. Call upon a seconder. Councillor McInnes, do you wish to talk additionally Councillor Sanders?
No, thank you. I think it's self-explanatory. Thank you.
Two. Sorry. Anyone wishing to talk against the motion? I put it to the floor. Those in favour? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you. I now call upon a member to introduce item 5.7.
Yeah, I'm happy to, Mr Mayor.
Councillor Chalk.
Yeah, I'll introduce report 5.7. This is the overall plan for Burner Rural Fire Group. I'll move straight to motion that one, pursuant to section 94 of the Local Government Act 2009 and section 94, 3 and 4 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, Council adopt the overall plan for the Burner Rural Fire Group in the Scenic Rim region. And two, Council adopt a special charge, one, Rural Fire Group Burner for the 2024-2025 financial year, as set out in the revenue statements contained in the 2024-2025 budget document. Overall plan for Burner Rural Fire Group in the Scenic Rim region. Description of service, facility or activity. The activity which Council is to carry out in the contribution of funds to the Rural Fire Group, which provides fire prevention and firefighting services within its service area under the Fire and Emergency Services Act 1990, located within the Scenic Rim Regional Council area. The rateable land to which the special charge applies. The rateable land to which the special charge applies is identified in attachment 1, that land being which will receive a special benefit from the provision of the activity because the activity funds the provision of rural fire services to the land and for which a rural fire service would not otherwise be available. Special charge for 2024-2025. The special charge for the 2024-2025 for rateable land contained within the Burner Rural Fire Group benefit area is $33. Estimated cost of carrying out the overall plan. The estimated cost of carrying out the overall plan is $111,420.71, with the contribution of $113,355 to be raised through the special charge. Estimated time for carrying out the overall plan. The estimated time for carrying out the overall plan is 1 year, commencing on the 1st of July 2024. Thank you.
Thank you. Call for a seconder of the motion. Councillor Hay. Sorry. And Councillor Chalk, you wish to talk to the motion?
Yeah, thank you, Mr Mayor. This is the same as last year. It's just been rolled forward. It's a very important service that's provided to the community, for the rural communities, as we've seen over the last few years. And I think the motion is pretty self-explanatory about how it's set out. Council just plays the role of collecting the charge, and then it's all distributed directly to the Burner Group and the other groups around the region to provide that function. So I think it's a worthwhile addition. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Anyone wishing to talk against the motion? I put it to the floor. Those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Now call upon a councillor to introduce 5.8. Councillor Cryer. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to introduce item 5.8, overall plan for Beaudesert Rural Fire Group. And I'd like to move straight to the recommendation, taking that the report is read. That one, pursuant to section 94 of the Local Government Act 2009 and section 94, 3 and 4 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, Council adopt the following overall plan for the Beaudesert Rural Fire Group in the Scenic Rim region. And 2, Council adopt a special charge to Rural Fire Group Beaudesert for the 2024-2025 financial year as set out in the revenue statement contained in the budget document. Overall plan for Beaudesert Rural Fire Group in the Scenic Rim region. Description of service, facility or activity. The activity which Council is to carry out is the contribution of funds to the Rural Fire Group, which provides fire prevention and firefighting services within its service area under the Fire and Emergency Services Act 1990, located within the Scenic Rim Regional Council area. The rateable land to which the special charge applies. The rateable land to which the special charge applies is identified in Attachment 1, being land which will receive a special benefit from the provision of the activity, because the activity funds the provision of a rural fire service to the land and for which a rural fire service would not otherwise be available. A special charge for 2024 to 2025. The special charge for 2024 to 2025 for rateable land contained within the Bow Desert Rural Fire Group benefited area is $33. The estimated cost of carrying out the overall plan. The estimated cost of carrying out the overall plan is $189,088.28, with a contribution of $130,977 to be raised through the special charge. Estimated time for carrying out the overall plan. The estimated time for carrying out the overall plan is 1 year, commencing on the 1st of July 2024.
Thank you, councillor. Call upon a seconder for the motion, councillor Hay. And councillor Cryer, do you wish to talk to the motion?
Thank you, Mayor. I think that this is a very necessary service, and it's a great thing that the council is able to collect the charge from the community to support the service for the whole region in the sense of firefighting and fire prevention. Thank you.
Acknowledged. Anyone wishing to talk against the motion? I now put the motion to the floor. Those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Now look to someone to introduce item 5.9.
I'm happy to introduce that one, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, councillor.
Item 5.9, Waste Utility Charges 2024 to 2025. I'll move straight to the motion that 1, pursuant to Section 94 of the Local Government Act 2009 and Section 99 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, Council adopt to make and levy waste management utility charges for the supply of waste management services for the 2024 to 2025 financial year as per the rates contained in this report and provided in Attachment 1, and 2, in accordance with Local Law Number 5, Waste Management 2018, Council resolved to designate all premises within Scenic Rim Regional Council boundaries as areas in which Council may conduct general waste collection. Services shall be provided to all premises within the Council area where waste services are or can be made available.
Thank you. Seconded to the motion. Councillor McInnes, do you wish to talk to your motion, Councillor Sanders?
No, thank you, sir. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Thank you.
Acknowledged. Anyone wish to talk against the motion? No, I put the motion to the floor. Those in favour? Carried unanimously. I now call upon a member to please introduce item 5.10. Councillor Hay.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to introduce item 5.10, Rates Discount Policy. This item is also self-explanatory, and I take the policy as read. And the motion is that, pursuant to Section 130 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, Council adopt the 2024 to 2025 Rates Discount Policy F 102.01 CP as provided in Attachment 1, which will replace the version adopted on the 19th of June 2023.
Thank you. Could I have a seconder to the motion? Councillor Moriarty. Councillor Hay, you wish to talk to the motion?
Yes, thank you, Chair. I think it's important that Council has a discount policy in place, not only because the local government regulation requires one, but I think it's pertinent that I read out that if a local government is satisfied a ratepayer has been prevented by circumstances beyond their control from paying the rates or charges in time to get a discount, the local government may still allow the discount. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone wishing to talk against the motion? I now put it to the floor. Those in favour of the motion? Carried unanimously. Thank you. And now I'll move to item 5.11, call upon a member, Councillor McInnes. Thank you.
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to introduce 5.1 rates category changes policy. Moving straight to the recommendation that pursuant to Part 5, Division 4, Sections 81 and 89 to 83 of the Local Government Regulations 2012, Council adopt the rates category changes policy as provided in Attachment 1, which will replace the previous version dated 19th of June 2023.
Thank you. A call for a seconder. Councillor Chalk, do you wish to talk to your motion on Councillor McInnes?
No, I'm right, thanks, Mayor. This is rolling over and that being the date of our last budget meeting, so yeah, applicable from now on.
Anyone wishing to talk against the motion? I'll put the motion to the floor. Those in favour? The motion's carried unanimously. I now call upon a member to introduce item 5.12. Councillor Moriarty.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to introduce item 5.12, concessions to rates and charges. And I'll move straight to the recommendation. The recommendation is that 1, Council resolve in accordance with sections 120 and 122 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, upon application, Council may grant eligible ratepayers full rebate of the general rate, separate charge and the waste disposal utility charge to the following classes: not-for-profit organisations, not-for-profit community service providers, and my laptop's just gone. Sporting organisations operating on council-owned or controlled lands. Point 2, Council resolve in accordance with the sections 121C and 122 of the Local Government Regulation 2012. Upon application, Council will grant eligible ratepayers full rebate of the general rate, separate charge and the waste disposal utility charge to the following classes: dip and pump sites held separately from the balance of holdings or held separately by trustees; land identified as historical subdivision precinct under the Scenic Rim Planning Scheme 2020. Point 3, Council resolve in accordance with the sections 121A and 122 of the Local Government Regulation 2012. Upon application, Council will grant eligible ratepayers a rebate of whichever is the less of $2,200 per annum and 20% of the gross rates and charges levied to the eligible classes of ratepayers. Property owned and occupied by totally and permanently incapacitated veterans holding a valid TPI card. Point 4, Council resolve in accordance with sections 121E and 122(1)B of the Local Government Regulation 2012, Council will grant a partial rebate of the general rate to landowners who have entered into a voluntary conservation covenant registered under 97A of the Land Title Act 1994 with Council, or an unregistered voluntary conservation agreement with Council to preserve, restore or maintain an area of environmental or scientific significance upon their rateable land, namely vegetation communities having levels of significance as detailed in the rates-based financial assistance policy. The rebate will be pro rata percentage of the general rate attributable to the conservation area of the land.
Thank you. Call upon a seconder for the motion. Councillor Cryer, do you wish to talk to the motion, Councillor Moriarty?
Thank you, Mayor. I need to say that being able to offer a rates discount to various organisations, individuals who meet that criteria is obviously very beneficial to those people and to Council to encourage those people and support those undertaking those activities. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone wishing to talk against the policy? Then I put the motion to the floor. Those in favour? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you. I now call upon a member to introduce item 5.13. Councillor Cryer.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to introduce 5.13, financial hardship policy. I'd like to move straight to the motion, the recommendation that pursuant to sections 119 and 120 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, Council adopt the Financial Hardship Policy F102.05 as provided in Attachment 1, which will replace the previous version adopted on 19th of June 2023.
Thank you. Seconded to the motion. Councillor Sanders, would you like to talk to your motion, Councillor Cryer?
Yes, thank you. Just to say that the Council adopted financial hardship policy provides Council with the ability to consider and apply a concession on rates and charges for relief due to financial hardship where applications are made. I think that this is a good thing for people who are going through particular hardships due to certain personal reasons, and that the Council is able to provide this policy is a great thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Anyone wish to talk against the motion? Then I'll put the motion to the floor. Those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Look for a member to introduce item 5.14.
Yes,
Councillor
Mr Mayor, I
Chua,
can do that. Thank you. Yes, I'm happy to introduce report 5.14, rates-based financial assistance policy. I'll take the report as being read and I'll just move the motion that pursuant to section 119 and 120 of the Local Government Regulations 2012, Council adopt the 2024-2025 rates-based financial assistance policy F102.04CP as provided in attachment 1, which will replace the previous version adopted on 19th of June 2023.
Thank you. Call for a seconder. Councillor McInnes, do you wish to talk to your policy, your motion, Councillor?
I don't think so, Mr Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone wish to talk against the motion? Right, I'll put it to the floor. Those in favour? Carried unanimously. Look for a member to introduce item 5.15. Councillor Hay, thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to introduce item 5.15, administration of rates and charges, and I take the report as read. I'll move straight to the motion. That Council resolve to administer its system of rates and charges by 1. Levying rates and charges in the Scenic Rim region in accordance with section 104 of the Local Government Regulation 2012 by the issuance of rate notices biannually. 2. Ensuring that pursuant to section 118 of the Local Government Regulation 2012 requires rates and charges to be paid within 31 days after a rate notice for the rates and charges is issued, due date for payment. 3. Ensuring that pursuant to section 133 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, levying interest on rates and charges that are not paid by the due date for payment stated in the rate notice at the rate of 9% per annum, calculated on monthly, rests and as compounding interest. 4. Pursuant to section 130 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, allowing a discount for the payment of the general rates on or before the relevant due date for payment of 5% of the rates otherwise payable, only applicable if all charges on the account are paid. And 5. Adopting the recovery of overdue rates and charges procedure F102.06 PR.02 as provided in attachment 1, which will replace the previous version adopted on the 19th of June 2023.
Thank you, Councillor. Could I have a seconder to the motion? Councillor Cryer, thank you. Do you wish to talk to your motion, Councillor Hay?
No, thank you, Chair. I think it's also self-explanatory.
Anyone wish to talk against the motion? I put the motion to the floor. Those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Could I call upon a member to introduce item 5.16? Councillor Moriarty, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to introduce item 5.16, investment policy. Move straight to the recommendation. Can you just scroll down a little bit for me, Sharon? Oh yeah, sorry, I apologise. That pursuant to section 191 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, Council adopt the 2024-2025 investment policy 10110CP as provided for in attachment 1, which will replace the previous version adopted on the 19th of June 2023.
Thank you, councillor. Any seconder to the motion? Councillor Cryer, thank you. Do you wish to talk to your motion, councillor?
No, thank you, Mayor. It's fairly self-explanatory and a perfunctory item. Thank you.
Anyone wish to talk against the motion? I'll put the motion to the floor. Those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you. We'll now turn to and ask a member to introduce item 5.17.
I'm happy to do that, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll introduce report 5.17, debt policy. I'll move the following motion that pursuant to section 192 of the Local Government Regulations 2012, Council adopt the 2024-2025 debt policy F101.14CP as provided in attachment 1, which will replace the previous version adopted on the 19th of June 2023.
Thank you. And a seconder to the motion, Councillor McInnes. Is that correct? Or was that? Thank you.
I wasn't bidding there. Yeah, I'm happy to second it.
Thank you. Councillor Chalk, you wish to talk to the motion?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Only to say that in attachment 1, a few highlights would be that there's no new borrowings identified in Council's long-term financial forecast. So that's probably a good thing at the moment. So thank you.
Anyone wishing to talk against the motion? I now put the motion to the floor. Those in favour? Motion carried unanimously. We will now arrive at a very important item on the agenda. Councillor Sanders, I believe you're going to introduce item 5.18.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and councillors. Okay, item 5.18, budget 2024 to 2025 and long-term financial forecast 2024 to 2025 to 2033 to 2034. I'll move directly to the motion. It's a little long, so please bear with me. That, 1, pursuant to section 205 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, Council note the statement of financial operations and financial position of the Council in respect of the previous financial year. The statement of estimated financial position be received and its contents noted for the period ended 30th of June 2024. 2, pursuant to section 107A of the Local Government Act 2009 and sections 169 and 170 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, Council adopt the following financial statements for the financial years 2024 to 25 and 2025 to 26 and 2026 to 2027. A, statement of comprehensive income. B, statement of financial position. C, statement of cash flows. D, statement of changes in equity. And E, measures of financial sustainability. Item 3, pursuant to sections 169 and 171 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, Council adopt the long-term financial forecast 2024 to 2025 to 2033 to 2034 as tabled. 4, pursuant to sections 169(2) and 172 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, Council adopt the revenue statement 2024 to 2025 as tabled. And 5, pursuant to section 47 of the Local Government Act 2009 and Chapter 3, Part 2, Division 5 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, Council endorsed to apply the Code of Competitive Conduct for the 2024-2025 financial year to the following business activities, that is, roads, building certifying and waste collection. The remainder as I still read. Okay, sorry. The business activity operates as external competitive contractor for road maintenance and construction. The business activity excludes nominal ownership of the road assets. This business activity involves building certification services provided to external customers. It excludes regulatory aspects of the function. And waste, the business activity comprises all aspects of the provision and charging for refuse collection and disposal, including management of the refuse collection contract, And for activity statements 2024 to 25, full cost pricing budgets for each business activity are included in the estimated activity statements included with the budgeted financial statements. Phew.
Thank you, councillor. Could I call upon a seconder to the motion? Thank you, councillor Cryer. Councillor Sanders, would you like to talk to, we'll call upon, we might do it by division and call, or do you want to?
Can I?
Yeah, by division,
okay, thank you.
starting with Division 1 to talk to the budget. Thank you. You're doing it from the... Right behind you, councillor.
Thank you, Chair. As the Portfolio Councillor for Parks, Gardens and Open Space, I'm pleased that the 2024-2025 budget provides for a range of projects and programs that will enhance our region. These include the first stage of the Gallery Walk car park at Tamborine Mountain, which has been allocated $4.2 million to improve the accessibility of this popular precinct for motorists as part of Council's Vibrant and Active Towns and Villages program. The creation of this car park will go some way to alleviating the traffic congestion currently experienced and provide a better option to that in place which sees parking occurring in local residential streets. Community feedback has seen the allocation of $100,000 for an off-leash dog park within Lions Bicentennial Park at Beaudesert. This will be Beaudesert's first dog park. Visitors to the region as well as residents will benefit from the $268,000 replacement of public amenities at Dapsang Drive Park at Tamborine Mountain and the replacement of picnic shelters at Staff Smith Park and Guysman Oval, also at Tamborine Mountain. Apex Park in Boonah and Dick Westerman Park in Beaudesert, costing $84,400 overall. A new playground shade structure will also be installed at Selwyn Park at Beaudesert at a cost of $65,000. The budget also provides for works at Graceley Park at Beachmont, Middle Park at Tamborine, Justin's Lookout at Tamborine Mountain, the Tamborine Mountain Botanic Gardens and Monza Street Reserve at Beaudesert. As the Division 1 councillor, I'm pleased to see the budget includes works at the Tamborine Mountain Botanic Gardens, which are widely regarded as the jewel in the crown of the Scenic Rim. The gardens are loved by locals and visitors and are a draw card for visitors, providing a venue for special occasions and the backdrop for visitor photographs. The budget also provides expenditure for capital items for the Tamborine Mountain Swimming Pool, a new automatic pool cleaner, and lighting for the Tamborine Mountain Sports Complex on Long Road to encourage a healthier and more active community. Justin's Lookout at McDonald Road, Tamborine Mountain will also benefit from an upgrade of drainage and bollards. I'm pleased to see Council's investment in public amenities at Dapsang Drive Park at Tamborine Mountain, which services the entry to the Joala section of the National Park and the replacement of picnic shelters at Staff Smith Park and Guysman Oval, all of which add to livability of our community. Thank you.
Thank you, councillor for Division 2. Councillor Cryer.
Thank you, Chair. As the Portfolio Councillor for Community Arts and Culture, I am pleased that projects and programs which enhance the cultural life of our region and its creative community are supported in the 2024-2025 budget. Libraries are very much focal points of community connection, encouraging lifelong learning and offering programs for all ages. These range from the First 5 Forever program aimed at encouraging early literacy in the youngest members of our community, providing educational after-school programs for our students, and tech-savvy sessions for our seniors. Our libraries also provide engaging school holiday activities, such as those currently being enjoyed by children, parents, and families across our region right now. As such, our Scenic Rims libraries offer a wide range of materials, and I am pleased to say that this will be further enhanced with the allocation of more than $250,000 for new books and resources in this year's budget. The Scenic Rim is widely recognised as being home to a thriving, creative community, and with this in mind, $112,000 is being allocated in the budget to public art for projects such as the Calbar mural and the iconic story markers, initially for installation into Beaudesert and then to extend across our region, adding greatly to the vibrancy of our towns and villages. This, as well as the implementation of our Reconciliation Action Plan for Cultural Awareness. Council will also continue to work in partnership with the Queensland Government in 2024 to 2025 and has allocated $70,000 to the Scenic Rim's Regional Arts Development Fund to support local arts and culture. As well as enriching the cultural life of our region, the RDAF grants provide training, education and employment opportunities for artists and local communities and therefore represent a great return on investment. The 2024-2025 budget also provides for a wealth of cultural events and programs, including exhibitions showcasing local talent, as well as concerts and movies for all ages and tastes. Many of these at our 3 cultural centres, which continue to be supported within the budget. In particular, the Boona Cultural Centre, benefiting from new stage lighting and blinds from some well-needed refurbishment. As Division 2 Councillor, I welcome Council's budget allocation of $100,000 for pre-construction design works on Verisdale Scrub Road, with major works planned for the road in years upcoming. Recent community consultation showed that the Scenic Rim's more than 1,750 kilometres of its local roads and bridges are of a top priority for our residents, with the second highest priority being the maintenance of council and public facilities, parks and recreational spaces. With this in mind, Council's 2024-2025 budget of $620,000 for parks includes more than $188,000 for the extension of the sealed car parking area and line marking in Middle Park, Tamborine. With public toilets, picnic table and a skate park already installed, this will further enhance an already popular spot for residents as well as visitors to our region. I believe the budget for 2024-2025 presents as comprehensive, covering many needs for the region, while speaking to the tighter cost of living aspects currently being experienced by our region. With many items being brought forward from the previous term and from following a quick transition into council, I know there are many other important items, with quite a few in Division 2, which need to be slated in for the future. So we'll continue to pursue them or place them in review for our community going forward. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor for Division 3.
Thank you, Mayor, and good morning, everyone. As the Portfolio Councillor for Sport and Recreation and the Scenic Rim, I am pleased that Council's commitment to encouraging a healthier and more active community has been supported in the 2024-25 budget through a range of programs and projects. In a major win for the Canungra community, a total of $420,000 has been allocated to an upgrade and resurfacing of the tennis courts and the installation of new field lighting at Moriarty Park. As the only designated sports ground in Canungra, these improvements will be invaluable in keeping Moriarty Park's facilities in top shape for our town's rapidly growing community. A total of $67,000 has been budgeted for capital items for the Tamborine Mountain Swimming Pool and the Scenic Rim Aqua Fitness Centre at Boona, which I'm sure will be welcomed by all in those communities that use those popular facilities. As the Portfolio Councillor, my commitment is to ensure that Council continues to provide financial and logistical support to the many volunteers and community groups that work alongside Council in maintaining our region's sports and recreation facilities. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all our sport and recreation volunteers for their commitment and dedication to their communities. As the Division 3 councillor, I'm pleased to see that in the 2024-25 budget, an allocation of $2.16 million for the continuous upgrade to Beachmont Road. These works represent a significant investment in the accessibility, safety and efficiency of this critical road that continues to see increased traffic volume between Canungra and Beachmont. These upgrades will not only benefit residents but also the many visitors who use this road as a gateway to our spectacular region. Council is grateful to the Queensland Government for its contribution to this important project, which totals $744,000 under the Transport and Infrastructure Development Scheme. The 2024-25 budget also provides expenditure for critical drainage works at Monza Street Reserve at Beaudesert and fencing upgrades at Graceley Park at Beachmont, both of which will contribute to improving the amenity of these areas in our region. I would just take this opportunity to acknowledge that not every matter that's been raised through community consultation or with councillors individually since the election have been able to be addressed in the current budget. However, I can just assure everyone that along with the Mayor, my fellow councillors and council officers, we will work hard to ensure these matters are not forgotten and will be addressed in future budgets. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor for Division 4.
As the Portfolio Councillor for Tourism and Regional Events, I'm excited to announce that Australia's most authentic paddock-to-plate food and farming experience, the Scenic Rim Eat Local Month, will return in 2025, with Council allocating $330,000 to this unmissable event that showcases the region as one of Australia's premier food bowls. Eat Local Month is also a major economic driver for the Scenic Rim, representing a unique collaboration between Council, our community and agribusiness. I am also pleased that Council has partnered with QMF to deliver the Long Sunset in 2024 to be held from the 1st of November at Elysian Fields outside Canungra. This music event is expected to attract an audience of around 6,000 people, many of whom will provide a boost to the local economy through their spending and their overnight stays in Scenic Rim. Events such as Scenic Rim Eat Local Month and the Long Sunset show how our spectacular region offers something for everyone. And as Division 4 Councillor, it gives me great pleasure to see that $8.3 million has been allocated in the 24-25 budget for the continued upgrade of Kerry Road with a focus on improving driver safety. Council is grateful to the Australian Government for its $5 million contribution to this project under the Heavy Vehicle Safety and Productivity Program. Community safety and security at the newly developed Beaudesert Town Centre Parklands will be bolstered by the installation of the CCTV at a cost of $137,500. The budget also provides additional lighting upgrades for Selwyn Park and replacement of a picnic shelter at Dick Westman Park in Beaudesert.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Chalk.
Thank you, Mr Mayor, and good morning. As the Portfolio Council for Biodiversity and Agribusiness, I recognise the importance of funding in the 2024-2025 budget for the engagement of a biosecurity technical officer. This new position will assist Council in meeting its extensive biosecurity obligations, including the management of fire ants. This invasive pest poses a major threat to Scenic Rim biodiversity, lifestyle and economy, which is underpinned by its key industry of agriculture and tourism. As well as presenting a risk to the community health and well-being, fire ants kill farm animals and crops and threaten the survival of many native wild species. Queensland Government modelling has shown that fire ants have potential to cost the state an estimated $45 billion in the southeast Queensland alone. While Council is not responsible for dealing with fire ants on private property, it has, like all individuals and organisations, a range of biosecurity obligations that must be met to stop the spread of fire ants. As Division 5 Councillor, I am pleased to see allocations in the 2024-2025 budget. They will add value to our community. More than $242,000 has been earmarked for the Church Street footpath between Campbell Street and McDonald Street in Boonah, providing an important final pedestrian link between the eastern side of town and the town centre. Boonah Cultural Centre is a vibrant and vital community hub. As a venue for the world-class performances, it will be further enhanced by the new stage lighting and blind which has been funded in this budget. The $1.88 million provided in this budget for facilities maintenance includes $55,000 for new salt chlorine generators and chemical controllers for the Scenic Rim Aqua Fitness Centre at Boonah. Funding for sports lighting at Coronation Park in Boonah will also support Council's goal for a healthier and more active community, and local visitors alike will benefit from the replacement of a picnic shelter in Apex Park. This budget will fund all current identified strategies and service delivery of Council. I'm pleased for the commitment has been made on the phase 2 of the service catalogue, which will assist councillors on future budgeting and strategies. Also, the addition of $500,000 for sport and recreation will continue to address this area into the future for the whole region. An increase of $1 million to the road sealing program is also a pleasing outcome in this budget. I think that this is a financially responsible budget in light of the current strategic direction of Council, and meets all financial measures required by Council, by the state government and other entities. As such, I will support the budget. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor and Deputy Mayor McInnes.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. As a portfolio councillor for transportation infrastructure, it's pleasing to see more than $19.69 million in the 2024-2025 budget has been directed to rehabilitating and upgrading Council's road and bridge network, which has been damaged repeatedly in recent years by significant weather events. Major projects planned for the 2024-25 financial year include the reseal and rehabilitation of Council's sealed road network of $5.5 million, improvements totalling $1.15 million to increase the safety and serviceability of Council's bridge work. 3, the upgrade and replacement of sections of the region's drainage work at $796,000, and improvements to major culverts and floodways across the Scenic Rim costing $656,000. Our region relies on quality infrastructure to keep our residents safe and connected, and to support our agricultural and tourism sectors, which underpin the Scenic Rim economy. Council will continue to invest in improved transport networks, is grateful for the continued support of other levels of government, which helps us to deliver major infrastructure projects for our communities despite our limited financial resources. Council's 2024-25 budget also provides more than $930,000 for new and upgraded footpaths across the region, including $520,000 for general rehabilitation and minor works. The importance of footpaths is often underestimated, but they connect our communities and contribute to the health and well-being of our residents by encouraging people to get out and about. As Division 6 Councillor, I welcome Council's budget allocations of $77,000 for the installation of solar panels on the current unpowered P Crossing waste transfer station, as well as the Kelbar waste transfer station. The important project will contribute to Council's efforts to mitigate the impacts of climate change by helping us to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. This in keeping with the commitment of the Scenic Rim Climate Change Roadmap for 24-25 and the 24-34 and the Scenic Rim Climate Change Action Plan 24-26. This budget process this year has been interrupted with council elections in March and subsequent induction programs. Is this budget everything that I as a councillor want? No, it is not, but we work together to achieve the best outcome for the overall community, and for that reason I will be supporting the budget as presented. I recommend it to other councillors. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor. Thank you. Scenic Rim Regional Council's 2024-2025 budget has aimed to balance the delivery of key services and infrastructure to meet the needs of our community while keeping rate rises to a minimum. This is a budget that takes account of cost of living pressures for our community, and for the vast majority of residential property owners in the Scenic Rim, rate increases will be below the current CPI of 3.4%, the smallest increase seen in this region in many years. The overall increase of 2.76% in the minimum general rate and community infrastructure charge for the principal place of residence properties equates to just $45 per year. Some 62% of the principal place of residence ratepayers will see an average increase of 2.8%, with rates for 82% of these properties increasing by 2.76% or less. Rates for rural principal place residents of properties representing 7% of the Scenic Rim ratepayers will also see an average increase of 2.8%. Much of the budget planning was well in train before the swearing in of the new council, which has meant limited time for the incoming council to significantly adjust the budget settings for the next 12 months. However, we were committed to ensuring that the draft budget aligned with our ratepayers' needs and expectations, and through face-to-face community consultation and surveys, we were able to gather feedback that will continue to inform our budget priorities. The response to the community consultation was greatly appreciated, given the shortened timeframes between the swearing in the new council in April, the public forums in May, and the adoption of the budget in June. At a special meeting earlier this week, we heard from 9 of the 31 submitters who accepted Council's invitation to share their ideas on what matters to them as members of our Scenic Rim community. The community consultation has been a valuable process, and I thank everyone who took the time to participate in helping to shape our budget by prioritising council services. This process will be ongoing over the next 12 months, as we will be continuing to engage with members of our communities across the Scenic Rim to ensure that our objectives meet ratepayers' needs. Clearly, the local transport infrastructure network is a top priority for our community, and this is reflected in our 2024-2025 budget, which is focused on consolidating infrastructure programs and community services to reflect current economic conditions. The $119 million 2024-2025 budget provides for total capital spending of $37.1 million, with a focus on roadworks, which have been allocated $18 million. This includes Australian and Queensland Government capital grants funding of $7 million, enabling Council to deliver key infrastructure projects for our community. Council continues to pursue funding opportunities that reduce as much as possible the financial burden on our ratepayers, and we are grateful for the ongoing support of our external funding partners. By establishing a baseline of services, identifying and eliminating waste, and achieving improved efficiencies, we will continue to work to achieve the best outcomes for the Scenic Rim. As I said earlier, this is a budget based on the delivery of key services and infrastructure, the key priority to the people of this region. Thank you. I'll now turn to the councillor to close on the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you for everybody's speeches. That was absolutely wonderful. As this is my motion, I get to wrap the final bit up. I just wanted to say, I apologise, these meetings are very dry. We have to follow legislation, the rules, the procedures, so it does seem a little long and dry, so I do apologise for that. The last thing I wanted to mention was I think everybody's gone through what we're trying to do and where we're trying to get to. But one thing we haven't recognised is our staff members, our CEO, our executive, for the wonderful work that they've done, the nights that they've been up, the early mornings. I know I've rung in here just at 6:30 in the morning, and there was definitely someone still at work or working very early in the morning. So our people, our staff, are our most valuable asset. So, and I wanted to definitely point out how much work is involved in doing this sort of budget. But finally, I wanted to thank the councillors and the mayor for being so professional and during our discussions and making sure that we all had an opportunity to say what was important to us all. And look, of course, we didn't get everything that we wanted, but goodness me, it's not for the lack of having the opportunity to talk about the options that we wanted to put up. So again, thank you very much to the CEO, to the executive, to the staff, everybody that's put into this, and the councillors. I hope we've got a suitably satisfying budget for the year.
Thank you, councillor. Closing out the motion, I put it to the floor. Those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you. And that now draws the meeting to a close at 10:07 a.m. Thank you very much.